Well, today I'm at the old Colusa Cemetery. Colusa itself was founded in 1851, and cemetery shortly thereafter, after the first death. So this is a very old cemetery, and most of my relatives on the Gash side of the family and Barker side of the family are buried here. So we're going to take a little walk. I'll walk to the back where they're all laying to rest. Cousin Mikey is back there waiting for me, and I'll video a few of the older graves that are here. So let's take a slow walk back. I think I'm in the older section here. I thought it might be interesting to walk around and read some of the dates on some of these. I've already noticed some things out here that kind of amaze me. Show you what they are here. Something that I didn't know. Look at this. Here is a John Moore. He was a major in the Confederacy. Can you imagine? I did not know. I did not know there were Confederate soldiers buried out here. And they were from California. And here's another one here. This is Oldham, Company G, 12th Missouri Cavalry, Confederate States of America. Died in 1906, born in 39. Wow. I had no idea. Well, here's a fairly old one here. I can't hardly read the name, but I think it's Lizzie Maria Lewisstein. Died in 1879, age 35 years. So, some of these are, they go back a ways. Probably the older section is up here along the road, going all the way down. I'm not going to walk down there, but we'll continue on toward the family plot. There are some military people here. Here's a Confederate States of America. Oh my goodness! Here's a private. He was in the Confederacy. Secre's Battalion, Missouri, something or other, Confederate States of America. Died in 1918. I'll be darned. I never knew that. Very interesting. And some of these are pretty old out here. Okay, I just found an even older one. This is probably one of the first to be buried out here. It's an Ella, can't make it out, Griclab, maybe? Can't read it. Died September 29th of 1856. She was 1 month and 5 days old. This was an infant. That is the oldest so far, 1856. And here is a Tech 5 Ellis D. Kilgore. Gave his life in action in New Guinea in 1944. In other words, he was killed in action during World War II. That's the first World War II veteran I've found out here that was killed in action. What is surprising to me is the number of Confederate soldiers that are buried out here. I've counted probably 15 so far. And here's another one. A John W. Baum, Company F, 34th Mississippi Infantry, Confederate States of America. Born in 1831, died June 20, 1875. I'm very surprised. I had no idea there were so many Confederate soldiers. Indian War soldiers Vietnam soldiers, World War II soldiers. I guess I don't know why I'm surprised. There were a lot of people, but I don't remember reading anything about a volunteer group from California in the Civil War. There must have been some. I do remember something about a small skirmish down south or something, but I guess after the war ended, they came out here to live, seek their fortune in the gold country. Well, here's another one I wouldn't have expected. Unfortunately, it doesn't give a date, but it was an S.H. Stewart, Company D, 2nd Oregon Volunteers, Indian Wars. So this guy would go way back, probably the time of General Custer. As I'm walking, I'll give you a little history of the town of Colusa. It's a very small town. It's the county seat for Colusa County. It was founded in 1851, and at the time it was called Colusa, named after Chief Colusa of the Colusa Indians that were living on the far side of the river being over here about another 3 miles. It's the Sacramento River. And an interesting thing about the Sacramento River, something I never realized until I started doing the research on it, is the Sacramento River is 50 million years old. And I never knew that. And it was formed when the two tectonic plates off the Pacific coast merged and pushed up the plate here and formed the coast range of mountains. And of course the Sierra Mountains were on the east, and as over the millions of years the mountains got higher and higher on the coast range, and then all of the streams that were in here started flowing south. They couldn't flow west to the ocean any longer. So that formed the Sacramento River. Wow, look at this. Look at this one here. Boy, there's a lot of work went into that. And this one's a little interesting here. This is a Fred Mather Jordan. My last name is Jordan. This is the Jordan. I wonder if we're related. I don't know. Okay, continuing on. I don't know whether you can see, but Mikey's way up there. I sent him on ahead to kind of relocate things because neither one of us have been out here for about 4 years. The last internment we had out here was our Uncle Fred Gash. God love that man. He and Mike and I were just the three musketeers. We had so many exciting adventures. We could write a book about it, but unfortunately I didn't document everything, so I can't remember everything. But he passed away at age 80 something or other. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he was the last of the Gash family. And before him was my mother. My mother was Alice Gash. She's not buried out here. She's buried in Fresno with my dad. Let's go over here and wait for Mike to come back, because this is all of our family is out in this area here and over in here. And I think the first family member buried out here was Mike's younger brother, Eldon Barker. And he was 6-7 years old, and he drowned in what was called Long Lake out of Meridian. It was just a big canal, really. But he died, he drowned there, and that was Mike's younger brother. Otherwise, I would have another cousin to play around with. All right, here we have Eldon Barker. 1957, he drowned in Long Lake. And then, of course, his mother, one of my favorite aunts, Aunt Bonnie. Right here also. Oh, and looky here. Who is this guy? Nothing like being prepared, is it? I see there is no burial date on that. How you feeling?
The big one just hit.
All right. Now here is our grandparents on the Gash side of the family. And these are the two grandparents that lived in that College City house that I was recording yesterday. It's William F. Boone Gash, 1891, July the 4th, 1955. He went out with a bang.
Born on Halloween.
Born on Halloween.
4th of July.
And died on the 4th of July. And Granny, oh, Granny. She was a favorite. 1982. Never made it to Christmas. December 15th. Rua Estella Gash. She was a keep originally.
Estelle. Huh? Estelle, not Estella.
Estelle. Rua Estelle. Hey, Granny. All right, and these are two more Gash relatives. Granny's sons.
Yeah.
Glenn E. Gash, Uncle Decky. Quartermaster 3rd Class, United States Navy, May 1974. This is the one that flew the air coupe out of the main street of College City that I was telling you about. And Uncle Brick, we called him Uncle Brick. His name was Melvin Reese Gash. I don't know how we got the name Brick, nor do I know how we got the name Decky for Glenn Gash.
Well, Uncle Freddie gave Decky his name.
What's that?
Uncle Freddie gave Decky his name. I don't remember why, but he's the one that first started calling
Something
him
I heard
Decky.
something about that he couldn't pronounce the name or something, and when he was young he called him that.
Yeah, and Uncle Brick, Granny gave him that name because of his red hair.
Oh, okay. And now who we got here? This is Fred.
This is, yeah, Fred and Evanel.
Oh, my Uncle Fred's right here. This is Uncle Fred Gash. This was the youngest of the Gash. This guy here is special to us.
Definitely.
And his first wife, Evanel, is buried here. She died in 07. Fred died in 2019. The stories we could tell you. And this is Uncle Bill Keep. This is my grandmother, baby brother. And this is another one of Granny's children. This is my Aunt Mary, our Aunt Mary, died in 2005. And Aunt Bonnie's sister, our aunt. A lot of good stories there too.
Dina.
And then this is Dina. Dina was killed in an auto accident. When was it? In 2009.
Yeah, May of 2009.
She was a cousin. She was our cousin. And this was her first husband, right?
Yes, Leonard.
Leonard's her first husband. He was military. And they have a baby buried here too, don't they?
Over here.
There was one of their children.
This is Leonard's brother.
Leonard's brother. Uh-huh.
And Rudy, I think, is another brother. I'm not sure.
Another brother here. Okay. All right.
Okay, cut.
Okay, here we got on Mike's side of the family, the Barker side of the family.
That's my cousin Jack. His father, Jack Sr., is the only Barker sibling left alive.
Huh.
He buried the other one, second to the last, here a couple of months ago.
Huh. And who's this one?
This is Campbell Barker. That was my father's brother.
Hey, Tech Sergeant, United States Army. Sir. Well, you don't salute or call non-commissioned officers. I was a non-commissioned officer myself.
This is Patrick Henry Barker, my father. Died in 1978. Yep.
So how many brothers and sisters did you have, or do you have? Yeah, I guess did you have?
I had 3 sisters and 1 brother. Duffy, which we saw earlier, died at 2.5 years old. Then
Duffy
Glenda,
was 2.5?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was older than that.
No, 2.5 years old. And Glenda died the next one. I don't remember the year. Her grave is up here also. We missed it.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 sisters left. Myself and 2 sisters still alive.
Huh.
Debbie and Cindy.
Okay. Cousin Glenda, Mike's younger sister.
Yeah, I was trying to see what, 99.
1999.
And she had a heart attack through all of that, which weakened her heart. And then she had a second heart attack that took her.
Huh. All right, here's another of Mike's relatives.
Yeah, that's Eldon Barker, my father's oldest brother. His nickname was Bud, and that's Dina and Andy's father.
This was killed. He was killed in an auto accident.
Correct. Yes.
Remember the year?
1953.
Oh, I guess that's a good way of telling. Huh? Oh, it might have been May 25th.
Yeah.
Not funny, but I guess I should look around a little more, huh? Tech Sergeant, Tech 5, 199th Field Artillery Battalion.
Yeah.
All right, here's another Barker.
This is another of my father's brothers, and that is Kitty and Susie's father.
Oh, this is the one that accidentally shot himself
With a shotgun.
with a shotgun on the side of the road hunting rabbits.
He shot himself twice.
Huh?
He shot himself twice.
Twice?
Once as a young kid.
Oh, I remember the story.
Yeah, and he ended up in the hospital. Well, he went to the hospital for that and went back up to Barkersville and got infected, came back down and had his leg amputated.
Oh,
He
I
shot
didn't know
himself in
that.
the leg. And while he was in there having that done, my father, who also accidentally shot himself, was in the hospital with him.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a real sad story here for Kitty and Susie. Kitty and Susie are my 2 cousins, and he was killed on the side of the road when he pulled a shotgun barrel first out of the back of a coupe, and it went off and hit him in the double barrels and hit him in the chest. He died on the side of the road in front of his kids and his wife. Very sad. This Dina's one of Dina's children that died at a very young age, and that's an aunt of yours.
That's my aunt, Susan. Yes.
Aunt Susie. Good
Her
looking.
and cousin Susie died a week apart to the day.
Boy, this is some headstone. God, look at that. What the devil is down in that hole?
Susan that's a gopher trap.
Oh,
Susan was my father's youngest sister. She was the last one born.
And Dina's other baby or young kid is buried right here.
Yeah.
Maria Azevedo, 1968.
Yeah, died of SIDS.
SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. Found dead in his crib.
Mary Barker was my father's mother, my grandmother, and his father, Ephraim Barker, was my grandfather. They lived in Barkersville.
And how many kids did they have?
They had 20 children altogether. 2 of them died at a young age. 18 lived to be adults. And like I said, there's 1 of them left out of all that.
Huh. We've been to Barkersville. Barkersville is another story for another time in another video.
Like I said, we buried his sister, my last living aunt, over here a few months ago, and he made a speech at the ceremony, burial ceremony here, and he said that I'll paraphrase here because I don't remember the exact words, but basically he said that his mother and father had 20 kids and 19 of them left him here alone. He was the last one.
Last look around. All the family members are all out through here. All out through here. And it goes back. It's a pretty old cemetery. 1851 is when it was founded. So you can see there's some pretty old stones out here. And it's getting bigger all the time. We're now in the Colusa County Catholic Cemetery. This is where the Jordan side of the family is buried, and it's a very small family. There's only two, and that's my grandpa Nicholas Val Jordan and my grandmother Elizabeth Jordan, and they are buried right over here. Grandpa Jordan died of some kind of an internal disease in 1930, and Grandma died of breast cancer in 1950. Where is it, Mike? Oh yeah, okay, here we go. All right, here's my grandmother, Elizabeth Jordan, 1950. 1875, I didn't remember that. I'll be darned. And then over here, interesting story here. They were Catholics, so that's why they're buried here. This is Nicholas Jordan. This was my grandfather, my dad's father. And the interesting thing was when Elizabeth came to California, she was married to Peter Jordan, Nicholas's brother. And Peter Jordan died real early on, sometime in the 1900, I don't know exactly. And then Nicholas married his widow, Elizabeth, and had 4 more kids. And the story is that Peter is buried here underneath Nicholas. Nicholas was buried on top. And there's no marker for it. Back in those days, there were very few stone markers out here. They were all wooden. And the story is they had a fire come through here and burn them all up, so they didn't really know. I'd have to check the records to see. But that's the story. Peter Jordan and Nicholas Jordan are buried here, one on top of the other. And my grandma's buried over there. I don't remember my grandma. I was 5 years old, actually 4.5, when she died, and I don't have any memories of her.